Hey, what's up, guys? Mup Country here, Broke Folks Moto. So, in today's YouTube video, we're gonna be learning how to tighten up a motorcycle chain. Specifically today, a Honda Dream 125cc. Right, guys? Okay, so, but what I want to say is, it applies to basically all motorcycles. It's the same concept, but today's just a Honda Dream 125. Let's just take a quick look at it. Yeah, and these, what I believe, they're only available, in Southeast Asia. And my daughter is Michael. Okay, so yeah, my daughter's going crazy. So yeah. So if you guys are in Thailand or in Vietnam or in Cambodia, you guys, saw plenty of these, but let's just take a quick look at it. Yeah, so that's the Honda Dream 125cc. I believe only available in Southeast Asia. So let's hop straight to it. So it looks like we have some tools missing. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so here's the tools that you will need. On the left is optional. On the right is mandatory. So you will need a 19 millimeter. Okay. You will need a 14 millimeter. Okay. You will need a 10 millimeter and a 12 millimeter. Okay, so there's a 10 and there's a 12, as you guys can see. All right, so and these are optional, like this, WD-40 thing. Well, knockoff. Well, you know what I mean. Screwdriver, toothbrush, just to clean things up. And this measuring tape is just to measure the slack. Alrighty, so on this side, on the left side of the bike, it's 19. No, I'm sorry, it's a 14 mil. That nut right there is a 14 mil. The chain tensioner, the first bolt, is a 12 mil, 10 mil. Okay, so let's hop to the right of the bike. All right, this right here is the big boy, 19 mil. Same thing as the other side, chain tensioner. All right, 12 mil, and then this end one, this last one, is the 10 mil. All right, so for you guys that's experienced, you guys don't have to watch this in case you just want to watch it for recreational purposes, but there's a lot of learners out there. Okay, so the slack on this should be 30 millimeter. All right, the slack of the chain should be 30 millimeter. All right. Okay, so what else am I missing here? All right, I guess we're gonna hop straight to it. I don't have nothing fancy like a tripod or anything, so I'm just gonna rest it somewhere that's available to shoot. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do first. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna loosen the axle nut. Okay, I'm gonna loosen the axle nut, and then I'm gonna tighten this chain by adjusting the chain tensioner. Okay, so we will first loosen the axle nut so we can tighten this chain by adjusting the chain tensioner. So we will keep on bringing this chain tensioner back until the desired tightness, the 30 mil tightness, and then we're gonna tighten the axle nut back up and tighten these back up. As simple as that, so let's hop straight to it. Let me position the camera somewhere. Like I said, I don't have a tripod or anything, but for those that want to learn, you guys don't give a goddamn about a tripod. Just want to learn, right? Okay, so I'm gonna hop straight to it. And you can use all open ends. You don't need a socket or a breaker bar or whatever, but I like to use a breaker bar because sometimes that nut is tight. But you can use all open end. Just have to use a little more strength. Okay, so 14. So what I'm gonna do is loosen the axle nut. We don't have to super loose it, we have just a little bit. So we can tighten that chain tension. And you guys already know righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? So here we go. A little bit more, just so that chain tensioner can move. Never be super loose. Alright. So now I'm gonna adjust it. And one thing I want to mention, whatever you adjust it to on the left side, you have to adjust it to on the right side. Let me give you a close-up. So this is what I mean. You have these markings on the swing arm. So for example, if I put on the sucking line, the other side has to be on the sucking line. So right now we're like a little past the third line. I think I'm gonna bring it to the fourth line, as you can see. So I have to bring the other side to the fourth line too. So that way your wheel runs straight. Okay? Yep. You know, here at Broke Folks Moto, you know, don't mind the garage. You know, it's a little messy right now. No tripod, but we're gonna make things work. All right, so we're gonna loosen this 10 first. Up. And what I like to do, I like to clean this up first. You know, get the dust and dirt off. That's what the toothbrush is for. So just clean it up. Whatever. I cleaned the bike earlier, so that's why it's nothing major. Alright, so loosen up that 10. Now we're going to start adjusting it with the 12. You're going to bring it back. So righty is tight, lefty is loose. You want it tight. You want to go to the right. Go to the right. I'm beginning to see it move already. So that means I loosen this axle nut. This axle nut enough. I'm beginning to see it move. If this thing is not moving, then that means you have to keep on loosening the axle nut. I may not have to go all the way to the fourth line. Maybe just ahead. Same thing on the other side. You just bear with me, guys. I'm doing the same thing on this side. So it's just a little bit ahead of the fourth line. And by the looks of it, it looks like it's 30 mil, but I will check with this measuring tape. And you want to measure it right in the middle of the front sprocket and the back sprocket. You want to measure it right in the middle, in between the links. I'm going to give you a close-up of what I mean. Okay, so right there we have it. 30 mil, this big red line right there. So where do we want to measure? We want to measure it in between the front sprocket, that's the front sprocket, that's the rear sprocket. So we want to find the middle, all right, or as close to the middle as possible. And it's looking like right here, right? So, and it's looking like right here. So we want to measure in between the links, this link and that link, right? So let me go back. All right, so just measure it. Measure that tension. It's hard to do one-handed. I'm gonna have to put this phone back. Right on the nose. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so last time, measure it right in between the middle. Boom. That's the front sprocket, rear sprocket, and find the middle. And coincidentally, the master link is right there, you know, coincidentally. But you just put your measuring tape. You want that to be 30 millimeters or 3 centimeters. Same thing. So now we're gonna tighten this bad boy up. And what I like to do, like I said, is optional. Stick this screwdriver or any type of rod in here so it position everything so nothing moves. So it's true, so to speak. So this chain tensioner won't move. Right? So it's hard to do with one hand, but I'm gonna try it. Just put it right there. Well, let me put this camera back. Optional, you don't have to do it. Oh, my flip-flops keep on ripping, huh? Broke folks moto. Right there, that is nice and tight. That is nice and tight. So now nothing will move on me. When I go and tighten it, that's exactly where I want it to be. Optional. And sometimes you can't do it if you have the guard on. If you have the chain guard on, you can't do it. So that's why I say it's optional. I just took the chain guard off. I like riding with it off. I'll put it back later on or whatever. So anyways, yeah, let's tighten it now. Righty tight, lefty loose. Just double check the torque. And now what I'm going to do, I already tightened the axle nut. Now I'm going to tighten the chain tensioner. It doesn't have to be super tight, just snug, okay? Just snug. Just snug. Just tighten up that 10 mil snug, because the 12 mil is already tightened when we adjusted it, right? And what's optional about this, you know, you can spray the chain tensioner or whatever, but I just didn't do it in this video because this thing's almost empty. Alright, so now, and here's a look at 30 mil tension. I mean 30 mil slack. And I would like to say there is a specific torque on these. It's in the owner's manual. and you can grab your torque wrench and torque them up to spec or whatever. I don't have a torque wrench, but you can also go online like Honda NCX, Cambodia, KH or whatever, and look at the Honda Dream 125 owner's manual. Or if you buy the bike comes with the owner's manual, and torque spec for these axle nut will be there. I just don't use it because I don't have a torque wrench, right? Okay, so now what we're gonna do, my next process is, since I'm not using a torque wrench, I want to see if I over tightened it. And if I over tighten that axle nut, this wheel, the rim, will not be able to spin freely. So it's spinning really good. There's no resistance. So if you over tighten that axle nut, this thing is not gonna want to spin at all. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. So that's how you confirm it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, my very last step, I'm gonna check it again with the measuring tape. But from the look of it, that tension looks good. I'm just checking one more time with the measuring tape to get that 30 mil, 3 centimeters. That's my last step. And there we have it. It's the slack is right on spec, 30 millimeter. Okay, and if you guys still have the chain guard on, go ahead and button it back up. But I don't use it. So I will use it in the future because I have to re-thread it. It's stripped right now. Mine's is stripped right now because last time I over tightened it. And at the same time, I like it like this. So here we go. And that's all there is to it. All right, guys. Broke Folks Moto signing out. Please like and subscribe. And have a good day, y'all.